Hello, I'm Catherine Davis. I'm a pediatric speech-language pathologist, and what I wanted to do is talk to you about some things you can do to encourage your child toward correct speech productions without necessarily requiring them to produce the sounds. So before I go on, if you are concerned about how your child says their sounds in their words, there are a couple people you can reach out to. So one of those people, or several people, are a physician that sees the child regularly. So that can be their primary care, their pediatrician, or it can be a specialty physician that you see often, perhaps an ENT. So those are some physicians you can talk to about your concerns with your child's speech sounds, or you can talk to your child's teacher at school and talk to them about the concerns you have for how your child produces their sounds, and then they can refer you to us in speech pathology if your child does need an evaluation. So keep that in mind. But here's some things you can do at home to provide good modeling for your child's speech sounds just in your daily activities. So whether you're participating in bath time, or you're playing with them, or you're reading some books together, all of these things just in your daily activities, right? You're already doing that stuff anyway. In all of these things you can use these strategies. So there's just going to be 5. They're going to be fairly basic, and once you catch on and start doing it, then you're going to be doing it all the time. So they should be fairly simple. So the first one I'm going to talk about is just modeling. So at all times, this feels like a given, right? You're using clear speech sounds. That's it, right? That's super helpful. You're modeling clear speech sounds at all times. And so the second one is going to be, which kind of piggybacks off of that, but this is going to be highlight the sounds. So it's going to be number 2, highlight the sounds. So this, I've got a puzzle here. So say your child is working on the k, k sound. So that's like the hard C or the K, right? And they can't quite say it yet. So we're going to put in these vehicles in the puzzle. So, oh, there's a car. You want the car? That's a police car. So I'm saying it for them a few times, and I'm also going to say, oh, that car, car, that starts with your sound. So we're talking about the sound that it starts with. You can do the same with truck. That's a truck. Truck. See that truck? So you're going to say it a few times, and you're finding words that have their sounds in it. And you're highlighting them as they come up. You can also do this with storybooks as well. You're flipping through the pages. Say they're working on multisyllabic words, and look, we found a butterfly. Look at that butterfly. Watch this. Butterfly. That has 3 parts in that word. That's what you're working on in speech. So highlighting those things as they come up in your play, whether with puzzles or with books, or even in your daily activities. Okay, so that's going to be number 2, highlighting the sounds. Number 3 is going to be providing a recast. So I've got a cup here, and so say your child is leaving off sounds at the ends of words. So they're saying "ka" for cup. So they might say, give me ka, and you say, give me cup. You want the cup. So you're saying it back to them with a good sound. Again, you're not requiring them to produce the sound at this point in time, but you're saying it back to them with a clear speech sound. It does a couple of things and make sure that you understood them correctly, because they could have been trying to say cut. You don't know if they're not talking about this at all, but you know that they're trying to say cup. They're like, yeah, give me cup, or cup. They're still saying it wrong, but you're giving them a good sound. You're saying, you want the cup. Here's the cup. Let me give you cup. And you could say it back to them a few times with the good sound. A couple of things, side notes with this one. Be careful not to distort the sound too much. So we don't want to sound like, you want the cup? Here's a cup. Because if you're doing it too much, then it's gonna kind of distort the sound, and it's not a cuppa, right? We don't want to put that extra schwa sound on the end. We want to make sure it's a nice, clear p sound. So you want the cup. And again, you're not forcing the child to say the sounds, you're saying it correctly. So that's number 3. Number 4, okay, so this is just going to be something that you're already doing, and it kind of goes, all these things kind of work together, and that's why I say you'll find yourself doing them naturally. But this one is going to be reword. So that just means that if they are trying to say, so we're going to go, well, actually I pulled that. That's okay, we can go with that. So they're saying torn for corn, and they're saying, Mommy, I want some torn. And you're like, what is a torn? I don't know what you're talking about. And we're going back and forth. They're getting a little frustrated. So that's where you can say, you can prompt them. I might need a little prompting. Again, you might be doing this already, but that's where you can say, oh, I don't know what that means. Okay, what do you do with it? What do you do with this? And they can say, oh, I want to eat it. Okay, you eat it. Is it yummy or is it yucky? And you can have them describe it a little bit. What does it look like? Where can I find it? Here, help show me where it is. And then when they get to it, you can say, oh, that's the corn. And that has your sound. And then go back and kind of provide that highlighting strategy too of that sound. Oh, corn. So we're rewording how they're trying to produce that message, just to kind of decrease the frustration a little bit as they're saying the sound incorrectly. So that's going to be number 4. And then number 5, this is just going to be reinforce them if and when they ever say the sound correctly. So say they're always saying the t sound for s sound. So they're saying taupe for soap. And they just so happen to say, Mommy, I want to wash my hands with soap. And you're like, oh, you said it right. I love how you said soap with your long sound. And you really, really praise them if they do happen to say it correctly. And then we're not going to say like, say it again, say it again, say it again. You know, we're not putting a lot of pressure on them, but we're really praising them for the times that they do say it correctly. Soap. I love how you said that with a long sound. Soap. That's good. I love that sound. So you're praising them exactly how they produced it and reinforcing them for producing it correctly. So those are just some 5 things you can do. You might already be doing them, but things that you can implement in your daily activities to more indirectly address articulation or those speech sounds. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thanks.